Black don't crack unless you're talking about mentality.
It pains me to say what's happening internally.
Whatever it is, let's talk about it unapologetically. Hey everyone,
my name is Joanna.
And I'm Stephanie. Thank you for tuning in to our Black Don't Crack docu-series.
In part 4, we will be discussing media.
How do you think we are portrayed in the media?
I think we're portrayed in the media as we've always been portrayed, as either entertainment or threats. So
in the media, in the past, of course, we're like the maids, we're the slaves, we're the jokesters, and then you progress on through time, and you get some black shows like you get like the Jeffersons or Good Times, and they're good, they're comedy, but it's like, okay, like we're poor and this is a joke and our lives are a joke. And a lot of shows starring African Americans have been comedy shows, and not to say there's anything wrong with a comedy show with having a good laugh, but we should be taken seriously, even in shows where there are black characters. We're a sidekick, we're a comic relief, like we're the emotional support, we're the magical Negro that can solve all your problems. We're not just like, hey, I'm a guy having a job. It's like it's a whole thing. We can never just be people. People can never just see us as people, and that really affects people's everyday lives, because you meet white people who maybe don't have a lot of contact with black people, and they think you're going to be super sassy, you're going to solve all their problems, you're going to teach them how to dress, you're going to teach them how to be cool, instead of them just talking to you like they would talk to anybody else.
Folks don't want to understand black people. Like, at the end of the day, I think we have so many different unique identities. We come from different backgrounds, different low income, high income. You're from the South, you're from California, you're from New York. New York in general already has like so many different kind of subcultures. You're African or you're European with African descent. I think that people just don't want to get to know black folks. They do not want to show the variety of like identities, because folks are already confused by black people. Folks are already confused at our culture. They love to use our culture and pretend they are our culture and profit from our culture, but they don't want to understand, right? It's that word like everybody wants to be black until it's time to be black. And I think regarding to why in TV they're only showing one kind of black person is because they don't want to have to take the time to actually get to know black folks.
When a young black kid is, accidentally shot, they go and try and find the most like dark, grungy looking like bad boy picture from the archives. But yet, when someone of another ethnicity or color gets killed accidentally or on purpose or whatever, they use the graduation picture. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why can't, if that's the standard, if the standard is the graduation picture for the deceased, let that be the standard for everybody. You know what I mean? Don't find that one picture where they was drinking at that one frat party. Don't find a picture where they went to get a tattoo, with their mom wasn't looking. Don't find a picture, where they in the hoodie throwing up gang signs to impress their friends because they're young. Like, it's just not fair. I don't like that. So that needs to change.
So when it comes to social media and how we're portrayed, I think there's a really, really good side and a really bad side. The bad side is like we always see ourselves getting killed, and that's traumatic. That puts this, like I said, like a fear in your brain. Like the police person, it puts this fear in your brain where you don't know what's going to happen. You step out the side, you see people like you getting killed every single day by the police, by guns, by white people who just don't like how you look. Like you're dead, and that's what it is. Your life is a joke. But then on the other hand, I think social media has also been good for portraying black people, because now you meet other black people who are weirdos or whatever, or you see black people, and like maybe we're not portrayed in the regular everyday mass media, but in social media we can go viral, we can do this, we can be models and we can be influencers, we can be artists, and nobody can tell us not to, because this is our space. You make your own space on the internet for yourselves, and it's really, I think it progressed a lot of things like the natural hair movement. and it really put an end to a lot of like colorism in our generation. It really just pushed forward, I guess, our narrative. Like, now we're black people as a whole. We're not just like separate black people. Like, those are the weird black kids. That's the light-skinned people. That's the dark-skinned people. They're weird. Their hair's short. Her hair's long. Her hair's better. It's like we're all black people, at least on social media.
How are we affected by the media?
We are not getting the exposure. We're not getting the funding. We're not getting people that are taking the chance on us. You have black folks. There are a lot of like black independent companies, black independent projects. They're all out there, but we are not getting the opportunity to jump on the board. I remember when they first put Blackish on ABC, and I was like, wow, finally a show that is actually touching upon a lot of black issues, but they still have to be censored. Again, Insecure, my favorite show. They're saying a lot of things in there that we have not heard before, but they still have to be censored.
Growing up, all I seen were white women being portrayed in a way that us black women were not. Again, it didn't take me till I got older to realize the truth, which is, that we're all the same. White women, black women, Asian women, it doesn't matter. We're all women. But definitely growing up, I feel like, I'm not going to lie. I used to wish that I was a white woman, a white girl, because how they were portrayed. They were portrayed to be sexy and smart and, just the roles that you see them play on television. It wasn't the roles that you would see a black woman play. I'll take it so I'm thinking of when I was young. I grew up on Disney, right? And that was a big thing for me to not see a black princess. We finally got one, Princess Tiana, but let's think about back in the day when it was Ariel and Snow White and Cinderella. We did not see a black princess, and that did affect my self-esteem because it made me wish that I was a white girl. It was like, well, I want to be a princess, but it seemed to be that you had to be white in order to be these things. And definitely affected my self-esteem, and it took a lot of undoing and unlearning what I was taught growing up. And so in that regard, I'm upset because I'm spending more time unlearning and redefining these things.
I think our generation, although we're progressive in a lot of our ideals, we're very fearful because we feel like we see, like, okay, on social media we're progressing, we're doing these great things, but in the real world we really are getting shot. Donald Trump really did become president because he said, he woke up and he said, I want to be president, and it happened. Like, that's just what it was. And you see people just like shooting up, burning down black churches like it's nothing, like it's a game. And it makes us cautious. It makes us, I guess, very reserved and very close off to the world as a whole, because even though those things do happen, I think if we are open to other things, like, there's a lot of good things in America too. There's a lot of good things in this world that you can learn, and that fear, it really shuts you off. It makes you like, okay, I can't talk to anybody but black people, because that's where you feel safe with. That's who you want to sit with. You go into a room, who you going to? The black people, because that's who you feel safe with. That's who you at least feel like is not going to do you dirty, and I really get that.
Who can you relate to in media?
Issa Rae. I feel like Issa Rae has given awkward black girls the platform. When I was young, I used to look up to Raven-Symoné because Raven-Symoné was that quirky black girl, and she was cute, and she was thick, and she was psychic, and she had the quirky white friend and the cool black brother friend. But as a young adult, as someone who's in her 20s, Issa Rae is the perfect epitome of what it means to be a black girl. And the show Insecure is giving you a variety of black folks, because black people are not monolithic. Like, we have such different experiences, and I think a lot of shows like to have the one token black person or the one token light-skinned black person. It's like, look, a lot of us are dark-skinned, a lot of us have afros, a lot of us, and so like Issa Rae and the show Insecure and Awkward Black Girl, her web series, is saying like, yeah, there's some black girls out here who are definitely awkward, but awkward in ways that you haven't seen before. Like when you're in the workplace and you're getting microaggressions, how do you deal with that? Or when you are code switching, how do you deal with that? Or when you are, hanging out with your girlfriends and there's all that like, talk, and things that white folks can't get. Like Issa Rae has, like, I see myself in Issa Rae, and I think she knows that she's opened up a brand new door to black women who have been kind of hidden for a while. Like, we've been out there, but we have to hide behind like Tracy Ellis Ross because she cute, or like Gabrielle Union. But Issa Rae is like, yeah, I'm 30 something and I'm weird.
Definitely Issa Rae. Like, she got her start. She just did a web series. She worked her way up. She networked. She got Pharrell to produce her show at her web show at one point, and then she got like a show on HBO, and she has a show with all these black characters, and they're just people. It's not like black people like, oh, we're so poor, or black people like we're constantly struggling. It's just black people being regular, everyday people, and that's what I really like about her. Like, you can be black and be a person on TV. Like, it's possible.
About when I decided to pursue a career in opera, it was because of Denise Graves, and I actually saw her on Sesame Street as a little girl, and so that has affected the trajectory of my career and what I wanted to do with my life, my purpose. So media is extremely important in just making sure that it reflects people who want to see themselves, and it gives them opportunities to see themselves in different genres, see themselves in different aspects of life, and exposing them to something that they may have not seen before.
Yeah, I mean, I love Angela Bassett, Lupita, basically any beautiful black actress out there. Issa, I love her. And now I am able to relate and look at them and be like, oh, yeah, I can do these things because they're doing it. They're doing it beautifully. They're doing it in a way that I've never seen it done. So it's so helpful. But it sucks that I had to wait till my, young adult years to see these things because, again, I feel like I lost a lot of time.
Do you have any advice?
Some folks will go, yeah, my community is dangerous. Like, we need to do something about that, hoteps. You also have people who are like, yeah, I see our community is bad, but not everybody's like that, and they stop there. Or you have folks who are like, no, I see exactly what the media is doing. We are not like that. I'm going to do alternative things like documentaries or radio shows or podcasts to show that there is a brighter light. So you have different levels of people in our community that will either take that and internalize it, take it and just be like whatever, or take it and be like, no, we're going to use alternative ways to show how beautiful our community really is. So
if you see something you don't like, say something. Like write the network, email the network. It's one. Gnats are annoying, but a swarm of flies are gonna make somebody move. You know what I'm saying? So keep it. Tell people if you're having a conversation with a group of people, y'all all saying, "Yo, damn, I hate this." Get together and speak up about it. See what y'all could do about it as a collective, because the fist is stronger than the finger. So, just see if you see something you don't like, don't just let it rock. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can do, especially if it could possibly affect more than just you. Because we all going through a lot of the same things, just in different ways, different levels, different formats, different times, and different faces of the planet.
Is knowing who we are and being completely focused on that. I think sometimes it's almost like they win when we indulge in their foolishness. It's like a mother who, when their child is acting out, if every time I, acknowledge you when you're acting out, at some point, you're going to realize, oh, I get attention when I act out. And I'm always getting attention when I act out. So it's like we have to treat the media as if they're children, whomever's over the media outlets. Every time they post the ridiculous, foolish stories about us, why are we even reposting it? Why are we giving it likes? It's just, why are we giving that child who's having a temper tantrum because they may not like African Americans, why are we giving them attention? And I get that media is influential, but at some point, we have to stop feeding into the negativity.
When I was younger, I would watch stuff, and my parents would always say, there's no black people in this, there's no black people in this. And I would be like, okay, well, I want to make something with black people. And instead of complaining about it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. So I want to be able to put content out there that's not only inspirational, but shows that black people are three-dimensional people.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of our docu-series. So let's keep the conversation going.
Please use the hashtag Redefine Black and the hashtag Black Don't Crack. Thank
you. Bye.
Bye.